We've all heard it, right? A college degree? It's supposed to be the key to a better life. But what if that key is broken? Today, we're diving into a really provocative argument from our source material. The idea that for a whole lot of people, higher education isn't a promise anymore. It's become more of a prison.
The golden ticket. For generations, this has been the story. Higher education is sold as the one surefire way out of poverty. It's not just a good idea, it's held up as this almost sacred escape plan.
And this is the mantra, the thing that's been repeated in countless homes. It's a simple, powerful promise, isn't it? Do well in school, pass your exams, and you get to escape your circumstances. For the poor, this isn't just about a career. It's sold as a lifeline.
And this photo, wow, it just perfectly captures the heart of that dream. The source uses this picture of student leader Kanhaiya Kumar with his mom holding his PhD thesis. And at first glance, it's everything, right? A son from a poor family, he made it, his mom is so proud, and he even tweeted, "Never let poverty interfere with my dreams." It looks like the perfect success story. Okay, but here's where everything gets turned on its head. The source material asks this really tough, really uncomfortable question. What if this hope, this whole system we've built on the promise of education, what if it's all just a big lie?
So to really get this critique, we have to go back in time. The argument is that this problem isn't new at all. It's a colonial hangover, an old system we inherited that was built for a very specific and pretty troubling reason.
I mean, that's a pretty stark claim. According to the source, the whole foundation of modern education in India wasn't designed to empower people. It was designed to control them. It was built to create a steady supply of workers for the colonial machine.
And think about what that means for the type of person the system was supposed to create. Not innovators, not artists, not these big free-range thinkers. Nope. It was designed to produce reliable clerks and managers, people who were good at following orders and keeping things running smoothly. The goal was never intellectual freedom. It was just efficiency.
And you can see how this legacy just kind of snowballs over time. The source draws this straight line from a British report back in 1807, all the way to post-independence policies that focused on universities for the elite instead of basic schooling for everyone. And the result today? A system where the prestige of the degree, that piece of paper, has become way more important than any actual skill or knowledge you might have.
Which brings us to the modern-day problem, what the author calls the prestige trap. This is where that beautiful dream starts to fall apart and becomes a system that actually traps the very people it's supposed to be helping. So what does this trap look like? Well, according to the source, it all starts by selling the poor on the idea of prestige, but the degrees themselves, they often have dubious value in the real world. So instead of breaking down social barriers, the system just makes them stronger, turning campuses into political battlegrounds and leaving people stuck in this loop of chasing a dream that doesn't deliver.
The source uses a fascinating term for this, co-option. The idea is that the system is basically designed to find the smartest, most ambitious kids from the lower classes and just absorb them. It pulls them into the world of the elite, but on the elite's terms, which means they're no longer in a position to challenge the system from the outside. Okay, let's go back to that photo. The source says we need to look at it again, but this time, see it not as a happy picture, but as a sad one. It paints a picture of a bright young man who wasn't really into science or math, but was pushed into the humanities by the pervading elite. So his victory wasn't about fulfilling his own potential, but about successfully playing a game that somebody else designed for him.
So is all education a trap? Well, not exactly. This is where it gets interesting. The source makes a really clear distinction, suggesting that maybe not all degrees are created equal. It points to two totally different paths, with totally different results. So here are the two paths. On one side, you have the humanities trap. The source presents this as the playground of the old elites, where they keep control and where you see a lot of political protest. But on the other side, you have the science hope. Fields like India's nuclear program are shown as a real source of progress, something that creates genuine national pride and is, as one person put it, run by villages. But the critique goes even deeper, because it starts to question the very tools we use to decide who's smart. The source highlights this incredible quote from a Nobel laureate, who points out that IQ tests were never made to find geniuses. They were made to find learning disabilities. The fact that we use them to find the best and brightest is a huge misuse. And that sets the stage for a pretty amazing experiment. So get this.
An ecologist named Narayan Desai went out to these really impoverished tribal communities looking for raw talent. He used official Mensa IQ tests, the kind that don't require any formal schooling. He just wanted to see if there was genius out there, completely hidden from the official system.
And the result? It was absolutely astonishing. In one test back in 2002 with 200 students, he found 4 who qualified for Mensa, the High IQ Society. But here's the crazy part. Those 4 were the only girls who even took the test. That means every single girl he tested qualified, a 100% success rate. And that story just perfectly illustrates the whole argument, doesn't it? It suggests there is so much raw, innate intelligence out there that our current system is completely blind to. Because the system isn't looking for genius, it's looking for good test takers. It's looking for future clerks. So, if the old hope is broken, if the system is a trap, then where do we go from here? What is the new hope? Well, the source doesn't give us any easy answers. Instead, it just lays down this stark declaration. The time for what it calls the false hope of education is over. That promise that has been passed down for generations, its time is up. And that leaves us with the biggest question of all. If that main aspiration we've been offering people for decades is a lie, what do we replace it with? What does a real path to a better life actually look like? And that's where we're left. Not with a neat solution, but with a huge challenge. The old dream is dying, and now the search for a new one, a real one, is on. The question isn't just what it will be, but who's going to be brave enough to build it.